Hello, and welcome once again to an episode of Drunk Video Game History. Tonight we're going to be doing Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2. I really struggled with what cocktail would work with this. I looked to see if there were like erasure or dissolver or paint thinner. I don't know. I was like, I really don't know what thematic cocktail would go with this. And fortune smiled upon me because a week ago somebody posted to Reddit a heartless cocktail. And I was like, that's perfect. This is the cocktail I'll do. So tonight, I feel like this is an extra special cocktail. It's called the Heartless. It's very good. So full disclosure, you will not be able to go into a bar and order this. And I'll link in the description the post from Reddit. He has some other links in his post. It looks very interesting. He does other video game themed cocktails. I'm sure it's going to be a resource that I lean on. It seems really cool. So yeah, I mean, I was very impressed by this cocktail, and I absolutely was going to grab it and use it and give him full credit in this video. So all of that information will be in the video notes below, including a link to the Reddit post. Really excited to bring this to you guys. Have hopefully a little bit more exposure. So that means you're not going to be able to go into a bar and order this, but it's something you'll absolutely be able to make for yourselves if you just get the right components. One of the ingredients is a red wine reduction. Now, if there's an interest in there and people are like, I don't know how to make a red wine reduction. If you want me to do a video on how to do a red wine reduction, post in the comments, and in a couple weeks there'll be a video up of me explaining how to do a red wine reduction. It's very easy. Without further ado, let me show you how this cocktail works. Again, I'm really excited to bring this to you. I had to buy a whole new bottle of rum just to get this cocktail going. It's kind of complicated. This going to be more similar to some of my other cocktails, not quite the simple 1-1-1 cocktails I've also brought you. So it's 1.5 ounces of rum. So the way my jigger works is I'm going to do 1 ounce, and then I'm going to do a 1/2 ounce. And then everything else is just a 1/2 ounce. All of the other ingredients, we're just going to do a 1/2 ounce of them. Except for the bitters, and the bitters are just going to be a dash. Now, for bitters, you always just do a dash. So we're going to do a 1/2 ounce of lime juice right in there. This is Sambuca. It is an anise or licorice flavor. Now, don't let this turn you off to the drink. It makes a very complicated drink. The flavors are really good. Now, if you've seen some of my other videos, you'll know that I am not one of those who likes a whole bunch of flashy shaking as cocktails. This is a drink that absolutely requires a lot of shaking, which we'll get into here in a bit more. So we're going to do a 1/2 ounce of our red wine reduction. This is messy. Once you make this, make sure you have a bar rag or something to put it on. It will stain anything it touches. Red wine already stains like crazy. It will absolutely stain anything you put it on. Our aromatic bitters, we just want a dash of those. And we're set. Again, my jigger is the lid to my container. Normally, I am not one who's going to tell you to shake like crazy. You're going to take this drink. It's going to be lots of really vigorous shaking. Your objective is to break up the ice so you have ice crystals in the drink. You want to strain this into a glass. Like I said, the original creator, which he recommends garnishing this with a cherry. And there you have it. So you see, we get this really dark cocktail when we're done. And I'm sure that the camera is not going to pick this up, but there's bits of ice crystal in there. That's exactly what you're going for. I invite everyone to try this at home. It's the Heartless. Wonderful idea. Absolutely came to my rescue. I had no idea what I was going to do for 358 Days Over 2, because while this is a really great game, we're going to go through it here in a bit, hard to pair a cocktail with. This is delicious. It's complex. It has a whole bunch of stuff going on. It's absolutely wonderful. I hope you'll all join me over by the fire so we can discuss Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2. Thank you for staying with me for this one. Let me start by telling you guys that I absolutely love Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2. It's wonderful. I thought I'd explain the name first and then kind of talk about the game a bit. The name is the easiest thing to explain. A lot of people were really confused by it. I have no idea why. It's the story of Roxas and a character that you guys haven't been introduced to in my series yet, named Xion. And remember we talked about in Chain of Memories that Riku having a replica? Well, Xion is a replica of, this is complicated, I'm sorry. Xion is a replica of Roxas, and Roxas is Sora's nobody. That's confusing. I get that. Well, the 358 is the game takes place over the year that Sora leading up to Kingdom Hearts 2. So it's the year that bridges the gap between Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2, not including the 1 week you play as Roxas in Kingdom Hearts 2. And chronologically, Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2 was released after Kingdom Hearts 2 was. But the story runs concurrently with Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. So that's why we're talking about it now. So coming back to an explanation of the game. In order to really get you guys in the right headspace for this game, it's going to be kind of difficult because how most people experience the game now is by watching all the cutscenes in this like curated movie. And it's not a good way. It's an okay way to experience the game, but it's not the best way to experience the game. Obviously, the original DS release was the best way to experience the game, but the original DS game is hard to describe. And so I'm going to try to draw a parallel with another game. But to do that, I need to kind of talk about some other things too. And I'm trying to maintain some semblance of sobriety here, so bear with me. I deal with people who aren't video game fans in my day-to-day life. And I know that may be hard for everybody to understand. There may be people who aren't video game fans, but it's sad but true. People who are like, video games aren't art, video games can't have, driving narratives, I can't get into video games, etc. And recently a game came out in the last couple of years that really it's allowed me to change a lot of people's minds. So when I get this, video games aren't for me, video games aren't art, video games can't make emotional connections with me, I say, well, hey, I have a challenge for you then. Let me show you the trailer for this video game, and I'm almost positive that you'll end up crying before it's over. Now, some of you may already know what this is, but the game is called That Dragon Cancer. I will link to That Dragon Cancer's Steam page in the description below. It is a phenomenal game. It's absolutely wonderful, excellent. Not a Kingdom Hearts game. It takes you on a family's journey of what it's like dealing with someone being diagnosed with cancer in the family, and it's horrible. So Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2 is the That Dragon Cancer of the Kingdom Hearts series, because the plot of the game is you play mostly as Roxas. There's some multiplayer elements involved where you can play as other members of the organization, but the entire game is focused on you playing as the organization. And the organization are the bad guys, and I'd like to believe it's deliberate, that you go to Disney Worlds and you kill Heartless, or you do recon, or you kill bosses, and it very quickly becomes monotonous and repetitive, and it feels like work. And it really allows you to get into the headspace of Roxas, the main character. So you're with Roxas, and after you've done a job, after you've done these missions that absolutely feel like you're doing work, you're tagging areas in Beast Castle, or you're killing 15 Heartless in Agrabah, or whatever. You're killing a specific boss. So you go through this mission, you get to go up and you get to unwind with some sea salt ice cream and your best friends in the world, Xion and Axel. And it's really the story of their relationship. And as a player, you get to experience what it's like to work and then interact socially with Xion and Axel. Presumably you've already played Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. So when the game starts out, Marluxia's there, Vexen's there, Larxene is there, the other members from Castle Oblivion are there. You interact with them and they're fleshed out a bit more. You kind of get to know them a bit more. I know I expressed in my Chain of Memories video, I think that Marluxia is about the coolest member of the organization there is. His weapon's awesome, and since Chain of Memories, I think he's been wonderful. In my opinion, his data battle in Kingdom Hearts 2 is far far and away the best battle. I'm just a huge fan. So he's fleshed out a lot more in this first part of this game, and then orders are given to send him to Castle Oblivion. We know as players that he's going to his death. And it's very melancholy because they all leave to go where we know they're all going to be killed. If you're still a fan now, you know they get better. But at the time, we didn't know that, and we thought that they were all going to die. Axel goes with them. He's been Roxas's friend throughout the early parts. He's been Roxas's mentor. Roxas is trained by other members of the organization. He's trained by Phil in Hercules' world as well. But his mentor has been Axel. And Roxas is kind of an interesting case because he comes to the organization with no memories of his past life as a nobody. On day 1 of 358 days, Roxas is there is like a blank slate. He's tabula rasa. And very quickly after that, Xion shows up. All of his personality is what's been put there by the organization. And again, we learn in Chain of Memories that Axel's kind of a good guy. He's morally ambiguous. We learn, if you've played through Kingdom Hearts 3, we learn that Axel becomes a rather good guy. In Dream Drop Distance, for example, he's definitely in full good guy mode. So we know ultimately Axel has this road to redemption arc. It's hard to witness this when he's going off to Castle Oblivion. So he leaves. You progress through, you keep doing missions. We hear reports back that people are dying in Castle Oblivion. And again, it's to be expected, but it's still hard to deal with as a player. Keep doing missions. Axel survives the castle though. And having played Kingdom Hearts 2, we knew he would. We knew that Axel would get through that. We know that Axel's going to get through 358 days over 2. So Axel comes back. Axel mentors Xion and Roxas. Again, it's drudgery. The gameplay is monotonous, boring, and just becomes banal over and over and over again. The more you play it, and it was designed for like bite-sized playthroughs. If you're just gonna sit down and play through it all the way, it's mind-numbing. But even if you're just playing it in bite-size, it's not an enjoyable way to play a video game. But what really is enjoyable is to experience these scenes of friendship and camaraderie. So you do these missions like you go to work so you can experience the relationship between Axel and Xion and Roxas. Well, Roxas starts to have feelings. He talks to Axel about it. He talks to Saïx about it. And Axel summarizes that maybe he's just remembering feelings from his old life, but that's really not the case. Also, during these missions, Xion loses the ability to manifest her Keyblade. Prior to this, Xion had also been... So I'd let you guys know that Xion was Roxas's replica, but Roxas doesn't know that. All Roxas knows is that Xion is this member of the organization who can also wield a Keyblade. Xion suddenly loses the ability to manifest her Keyblade, which would effectively make her worthless to the organization. You see, Roxas and Xion, what they're doing is they're destroying Heartless and freeing their hearts so the organization can create their own version of Kingdom Hearts. Now, this is the Kingdom Hearts 2 Kingdom Hearts. There are several different versions of Kingdom Hearts in the Kingdom Hearts games. I might do a video just about Kingdom Hearts and what Kingdom Hearts means in the Kingdom Hearts games. If I do like a bringing it all together, the end, that will definitely be in it, like all the different meanings of Kingdom Hearts. Know that in this game and in Kingdom Hearts 2, the organization is making their own Kingdom Hearts by forcing Heartless Hearts to go into their own version of Kingdom Hearts to make Kingdom Hearts. There's a laser in Kingdom Hearts 2. It gets really weird. We'll talk about it in Kingdom Hearts 2. That happens. And Saïx is really suspicious of this going on, but Axel convinces Saïx to allow Roxas and Xion to go on missions together so Roxas can cover for the fact that Xion can't manifest a Keyblade. Well, on their last mission together, before Saïx is like, no more, we need them separated, Roxas enables Xion to remanifest her Keyblade. And there's some really touching lines. At one point, Roxas says he wished he had a heart so he could feel love because he thinks he would like to love Xion. And there's a part where Axel is trying to explain friendship to Roxas. Axel is like, friendship is sea salt ice cream. So it's revealed that Naminé, like I said, this was running concurrently with Chain of Memories prior to Kingdom Hearts 2. And we know that Naminé has Sora in an egg to rebuild his memories. Well, with Roxas and Xion running around with Sora's memories. Again, in Kingdom Hearts, your memories are actual things, and there can only be one copy of them. So with her trying to rebuild his memories, with Xion and Roxas around, it's not working. And they're worried that Sora's going to wake up and be incomplete at the end of the year. So they know that Roxas and Xion are going to have to go away. Well, I say they know that. They suspect that Roxas and Xion are going to have to go away. Xion eventually ends up in Castle Oblivion and realizes the truth, that she's a replica of Roxas and she has Sora's memories. She actually ends up talking to Naminé and realizes the right thing for her to do is to sacrifice herself so Sora can be real, can wake up, because he's a real person and she's just a replica. Naminé explains to her, hey, you realize that when this happens, nobody will remember you. It'll be like you never existed at all. And she says, yes, she's fine with that, because everyone will be better off because of her sacrifice. Sora will be better off, and she thinks that Sora's a good person. Naminé agrees and encourages her to go through with it. The organization also realizes that Roxas and Xion can't coexist, but Xion has become immensely more powerful and Roxas is much weaker than Xion. So they've constructed these scenarios to trick them into fighting each other. Finally, Xion fights Roxas on purpose and eventually sacrifices herself. As a player, you have to beat Xion in combat to win. That's like the final boss. But narratively, she sacrifices herself so Sora can be made whole again. There's a scene that got really memed a lot. Bill made fun of it, and out of context, it is funny. When Xion dies, Roxas says something like, who am I supposed to share sea salt ice cream with? And that seems, like, out of context, it seems terrible, but when you realize that Roxas didn't exist as a being a year before this, that that means, who am I supposed to be a friend? It's truly emotional. The depth to that scene is very clear. If you've played the DS game, it's very clear. So Roxas tries to flee, he gets captured, and he gets put into the simulation that then leads directly to Kingdom Hearts 2. Now, again, I'm not through, at this point in the video series, I'm not through Kingdom Hearts 3 yet, but nobody ever stays dead, and Kingdom Hearts is kind of the meme. All of these people are going to get better. My understanding is, from other games, Dream Drop Distance especially, people start remembering Xion. Hopefully you guys will join me back for some other entries into the Kingdom Hearts series. Kingdom Hearts 2 is going to come out pretty quickly. We'll see Kingdom Hearts Coded coming out pretty quickly after that, and I'm really looking forward to the Kingdom Hearts 3 video. If there's any interest at all for like a full wrap-up, it'll probably be like an hour and 15 minutes long, but I will happily do it. Say something in the comments below. Thank you again for being here on this journey with me.